G'day everyone. Just blocking down the LTD here with my final cut before I go to primer this afternoon, and I just found a dent that I missed in here, and it was huge, so I don't know how I managed to miss that, but you can imagine if you had your finger like that and give it a good whack in there. There was this little concave just in the back there. Now I'm already at the poly stage, so poly is just the same basic material as what our normal body filler is. It's a polyester as well. So we can layer the body filler over the top of the polyester, no worries at all. So I scratched it up with a bit of 80, got into the little hole, carved out the material that was in there, and then I've put a skimmer filler over the top. But I've got a few minor little problems when it comes to working these sorts of things. Because our mainstream body fillers actually set a lot harder than what the spray polyesters do, this is in essence, even though it's 4 or 5 weeks old, softer material than what our fresh body filler is in here. So you need to be on top of it and wait for it to get to the point where it's just fileable and then get in there and knock it down. Now, I knocked this down with a piece of 80 because I didn't want to be scratching up all this stuff around here that I already had was going to 180. But it's not a great way of doing it, it's a compromise. And I've still got, just feeling along here, it's a little bit high just in here, so I'm going to have to work this area here. But now I'm cutting with 180, so I'm not pulling a lot of material off, but it's a case of sand a little bit, check a little bit as you go. But given that I'm working with 180, I'm ready to spray my primer over the top. Now that's pretty much knocked down my little bump there. If I just sand the whole area, I don't want to be cutting into this area out here because I'll create a hollow back the other way and I'll be relying on the primer to fill that in. But that is almost where we want it. So these things happen to all of us, and it was pretty clear that when I was spraying the poly on, I didn't bend my back far enough to notice this little divot down the bottom of the car. And when I repaired this quarter panel up here, I didn't look this far towards the back of the car to see another huge dent in it. But it happens, and it's repairable. So we'll move on from here. So with our polyester layer, from here to primer, I'm going to shoot one coat, and it'll be a good coat of epoxy primer back on it, and that'll seal off all our polyester area, and it'll give a good surface for the primer to go on top of, and the primer won't want to sink into this polyester, which is a little bit porous. Now, I do it wet on wet, so I'll put on one good coat of epoxy primer, give that 3/4 of an hour to an hour, and then I'll get back in the booth and just go straight on top of that with the primer, and then we're ready to block it and put some colour on it. Thanks guys, I'm Rob Teal, we'll catch you next time.